It is written. Wow, it's written, not just said. Cast not your pearls before swine. Not only that, it's in the Gospels. And I'm going to take issue with it. Bear with me for a moment. The quote is, and I don't even need to look it up, and probably you don't either, cast not your pearls before swine, lest they turn again and rend you. Don't call anything that God has made swine in a depreciative, is that the word? I don't know. Sounds right. Way. They're children of God. No matter how corrupt they might seem from your point of view, they are still just children of God. And we care about them. It's as simple as that. And I might point out, even if they weren't children of God, we'd still care about them. Because they have feelings. They're sentient beings. And we empathize with such. How could we not? We are sentient beings too. We suffer from pain, and we rejoice in pleasure and joy. We understand such, in a sense. So you're not going to refer to anyone as swine. You see, I don't worship the scripture. Oh, I'm so relieved to find this. Yeah, the scripture's not 100% right. Not as far as I can see. You can say, well, you're very short-sighted, Marshall. Well, yes, that's true. I do really appreciate that. But as far as I can see, I cannot worship scripture. It doesn't look perfect to me. Don't get me wrong, some of it's a tremendous help. But we're here to love God. Person to person is far more important than person to thing. Come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Is God the giver of life, the God of the living God. Do you see? And that's why God is so important to us, because I can follow my principles, my values, far more easily when I personify them, because I relate to people, to persons. So we have God. It's as simple as that. Well, it could be. I don't know for sure. Nothing's certain in this universe as far as I know, and even that's not a certain statement. Okay? God personifies, ideally, your ideals, your values. What else could you love with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength? So I might seem reckless in what I record and put forward. And you might have said, don't cast your pearls before swine, Marshall, lest they turn again and rend you. Well, Christian story says that presumably Jesus knew that, because he said it, supposedly, in the story. And then he goes off and gets himself crucified. Ostensibly for that very reason. They didn't understand what he said, so they crucified him. In the story. Thank God. I don't take it to be history. I don't have to. The story says enough to me. It didn't need to be history, thank God. The story, the myth, the historicity whatever, is enough. And I'm an economist. I only need enough. There's a certain cardinality about life. We certainly need it. But we can't enjoy anything else as far as we can see. And there's an economy too. I don't need to understand all things. Just one or two guidelines that are sufficient. It's all I need. I'm going for it. What are those guidelines, Marshall? Well, I've come to believe it's thank God for everything. Doesn't seem very reasonable, but you can certainly practice thanking Him for everything that's good. And that usually leads on to seeing the good in some of the bad, at least. And either way, you become so full of gratitude that you love your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Oh, that sounds like spiritual progress. Is it? Well, you can only tell by finding out. Practice thanking God for all the good and see what happens. I think you'll find you start practicing for some of the minor things that seemed bad but turn out to be good. And then you start to wonder if some of the things that don't turn out to be good perhaps are in some way. That perhaps He knows best. I mean, it does seem likely that your God does know best, doesn't it? And He's God after all. He's supposed to know best. The point is, you'll be so assured, so comforted, if you like, so happy, so blessed. You won't care whether you're right or wrong. You're going to keep going. Nothing is going to stop you. Get out of my way. This is the way I wish to go. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Love you. Thank you, Dad.